Interpreter for this hour is Walter Asewe. Let's just run our Twitter poll question by you once more, and it centers around the Ugatuzi initiative, and we're asking you this question. Now, do you support the fresh push for a referendum by Kenya governors through hashtag Ugatuzi initiative? Do you support the fresh push for a referendum by governors through the Ugatuzi initiative? You engage us on hashtag K24 Daily Brief at K24 TV at Sama W Njoroge. Let us know what you think about this particular topic. And at the top of the hour, we shall be sampling your feedback right here on the Daily Brief. Right now, let's take you to Nakuru County. And here is our reporter, K24 Mwangi. Your voice is being sampled in as far as various issues is concerned, and right now he's focusing on indiscipline in schools and the rising suicide cases, and he has a panel to discuss that issue. So K24, take it away.
It has been an issue that we have been following up over the past 1 week. Sam Njoroge, a student being harassed by a teacher, and another student in Consolata Primary School having recorded vulgar videos that went viral online, and people saying that parents are leaving their kids to be taught by the world, by the internet, and also others discussing the same issue and saying that current parentage or the current crop of parents are becoming parents so early, such that they cannot be able to handle the pressure that comes with parenting and going to work. What exactly are we going through? What is the role of the community? What is the role of the parent? What is the role of the caregivers in school as teachers, and what is the role of the law enforcers? Those are some of the questions that we are going to be tackling here. And joining me now is Alice Njeri, whose brother got lost last week on Sunday, and she attributes whatever her brother is going through from school, that the school gave her brother a lot of pressure for performance, such that he decided to go away. And before he ran away from school, he had made a mannequin of himself having committed suicide. That is a case that is very sensitive. And next to him, next to her is Wakili Joe Okeo, who is going to be giving us the legal part of it. What are we supposed to be doing in terms of making sure that discipline is maintained in school? And also, what are some of the legal parameters that we are supposed to follow in terms of discipline? And on my far left is Mwalimu Simon, who is going to be telling us exactly what are they going through in schools, especially now that parents have said no kiboko in school, and also teachers are feeling overwhelmed by the content that these kids are consuming from home. What are they doing? Do they feel intimidated sometimes by these kids? And to start with, Alice, you have said that your brother had made some mannequin to symbolize himself having committed suicide. Yes. Exactly. Tell us what your brother was going through.
My brother has been going with a lot of pressure from school. He has been running away. Like this was that time, and we expected him to come back on because he ran away on Sunday. We expected him to be back on Sunday, but unfortunately, he did not come back.
Right now, he's not anywhere. What about the mobile phone that he was using?
The mobile phone he was using is out of reach for now. Yeah.
Have you reported this case, and what exactly did he say about maybe school and whatever that he was going through?
He has been complaining about the school.
Yes.
He has been complaining a lot about school, and he mentioned to me last time that he wants to attack shule. That's what he told me.
Pengine kwa ile hali ya kuchange shule, nyinyi kama wazazi mlichukua hatua ya kwenda kuzungumza na shule, mjue kwa nini yule kijana anataka kubadilika?
Hapana, tulidhani ni ile pressure ya mtoto ataki shule.
Kwa hivyo
hatukuchukua hatua. Yes.
Ni sawa sawa. Tutarudi kwa baadaye. Wakili, it has been something that has come into the limelight by the Consolata kid who was vulgar, who was do we have a legal parameter whereby parents and teachers can use to correct these kids who are becoming so foul-mouthed?
Unfortunately, we are becoming, as a society, we are becoming more of a liberal society and a society that is extremely permissive. So probably that might explain why we are seeing young kids, they're becoming wayward and more vulgar because of what we are exposing them to. But yes, there are certain rights that these young kids have, and it's anchored in the Children's Act of Kenya. Children's Act of Kenya, in the wisdom of Parliament, it amalgamated different statutes and different elements of law and ratified some of them. These instruments are the ones that are used to guide the children. So now the question in regards to the child of the pupil at Consolata would be, has he attained the age of criminal responsibility? That's a key element in deciding how to handle the legal aspect of that child. And if he has, what rights are exposed to him as a child of the school?
As a legal mind, what exactly are we looking into? Do we have a platform whereby such a kid can be rehabilitated or taken to a rehab?
Yes, yes, actually, and I think the best way forward for that kid is for either child remand, okay, or a rehab. But again, there's another school of thought that says in most cases when they are taken to rehabs, they end up coming out more worse than they were when they were going in there. Because remember, these institutions sometimes, as well-meaning as they might have been, when the drafters of those, children remand house, rehabilitation centers were, when thinking of it, it's an assembly of children with similar characters. Okay. So perhaps we need to ask ourselves, will it do them more good or more bad? But a quick one. Parents have a responsibility. Parents have a role on the well-being and the moral healthiness of this kid. Okay. Perhaps that's what we should involve.
Yes. Mwalimu, you are the second parents to these kids.
Yes.
You are the ones who receive them from the parents.
Right.
What exactly are you going through? Do you feel that you have been given more responsibility than you were supposed to be handling?
Well, it's not that it is extra responsibility, because all of us need to be responsible. All of us have got a role to play. What we need to do is to work hand in hand. We have to partner with the parents. Because when you see a behavior in a child, it is reflecting what is inside this child. This child is only trying to vet out what is within. So unless we address the cause and the challenges that we are having, we shall not be going anywhere.
No,
so
this is a kid who has been born and brought up to the age of 14 or 12 years.
Yes.
Are we programming our kids to be vulgar? Are we the role models that the kids are carrying to the world, to online platforms, and also to school?
We are supposed to be role models, the environment at large, not one person, not only the parent. It's everybody, the teachers, everybody who is coming into contact with this child, including the media. So what is this child exposed to? Inside this child, we are having children who are coming from different environments, and we have a lot of challenges. So when we see a child with a behavior that is deviating from the normal, you don't rush into disciplinary measures. But first of all, talk to the child, understand the child. Because in most cases, you talk to a child and you realize what the child could be complaining about is not what is actually ailing the child. It is, we are having a society that is actually suffering, where we have all run out of away from our duties. But if we came back to our responsibilities as a society and know that this child belongs to all of us, yes, that's the only time we are going to correct this.
As a teacher, you have been teaching a class of maybe a minimum of 20. All these 20 kids come from different parents.
Yes.
Maybe 10 of them have this character of being vulgar and everything. Don't you think that you are handling something that is beyond your capacity or beyond your training?
If we all work together, it would be easy. But if we have parents who are not responsible, because actually the main problem starts from home, because the parent is the first teacher. And if the environment at home is not setting a role model, then we all go out. We have cases where children come and they become angry, they vent out anger to the other children. But the moment you sit down with this child, you realize this child maybe is seeing a behavior with the parent. But since he cannot beat the father, he says not to beat the one who is weak in class.
Yes.
But if you talk to this child, you realize this is anger projected towards the father, but now vented out to the wrong person.
Yes. Wakiri, in a quick one, is it time we introduce corporal punishment in school, or what are other ways of punishing kids that are supposed to be disciplined?
I do not think whether corporal punishment in itself is a solution. While it might play a role to a smaller extent, but if you look at it from a different prism, you realize that it probably will do more damage. I think the best way is putting in place, even at the household level, be of moral aptitudeness, show guidance to these young kids, understand that the era they're living in is one that exposes them to different social platforms, and they might be able to they will learn a lot of that along the way. They pick a lot of that, so guide them and tell them what is right to do and what might not be right.
Yes. Your brother might be watching K24 brief this morning.
Yes.
I want you to speak to your brother. Tell him to come back home. You don't fear him. You will be able to handle him. And next time, you will be able to listen to what he says.
My brother Shem Kirago Mwangi, if at all you are watching this channel right now, I'm speaking to you. Please come back home. We love you so much. And this time round, we are going to give you an ear. Listen to all you want. I'm going to be there for you. All of us, even Dad love you so much. Mom love you so much. Our life is so much in tears right now, but please come back. Just come back. Shem, please.
It is a prayer that we are all saying that Shem will be found alive, and he is going to resume school, and he is going to get the support that he wants. It is a discussion that we have held over the past 1 month. Are our kids going the right way? What is causing the rise in crime in school, vulgar language, and also suicide? The other time, we found out that a 14-year-old girl committed suicide because the teacher and the fraternity in school did not appreciate that she was getting her menses. It is just a sorry state, and we are going to be looking for the brother, and we are going to make sure that wherever he is going to be found. My name is K24 Mwangi. My camera person is John Wangombe. We take you back to Sam Njoroge for the rest of the day. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, K24 Mwangi, for that update live from Nakuru County. An appeal being made to Shem. Your family members have just spoken, so we do hope that you've heard. Now we need to take you to Uasin Gishu County and bring in our reporter Timothy Simwa, who joins us live from this region with an update from Uasin Gishu. Tim.
Samuel, in our briefing in the morning, I did actually indicate to you that the County Commander of Police in Uasin Gishu, Johnson Ipara, had called for a press briefing to just tell members of the public and Kenyans at large on an impoundment they carried out yesterday in a neighboring county, that is in Nandi County, at a place called Mosoriot. Some these tractors you're seeing behind me right now, with a number of police officers who continue to do some bit of inspection, were impounded from a compound in Nandi County from the suspect who's now behind bars by the name Gideon Kipkosgei. Of course, there were 8 vehicles and 5 tractors. Some of the vehicles are said to be high-end vehicles. Just on my right-hand side, this is a Mercedes-Benz, and according to the police, they are saying that it's not even in use. It must have been just imported a few weeks ago. There are at least 3 theories Mr. Ipara is trying to draw in this impoundment. One is saying that perhaps these vehicles and these tractors were meant for transit in our neighboring country, or other neighboring countries, or either they were smuggled into the country, and at the end of the day, this suspect seeking to evade payment of taxes. Maybe some allow me just to maybe bring in the sound of Mr. Johnson Ipara in his statement that he did actually brief members of the press in the morning, and get to hear what he had to say.
Yeah, thank you so much, our brothers and sisters from the media. We are here today so that we can brief you on the operation that we did carry yesterday. The operation we did carry yesterday was based on intelligence that was given to us by our special unit, whose assignment is to assist to crack down on big challenges that the general police officer is not able to do. This particular intelligence information led us down to Nandi County at a place called Tabwa within Mosoret, in the home of one Gideon Kipkoskei. Within the home compound, we were able to recover 13 vehicles in total. Out of that, 8 were vehicles, 5 were tractors. And all these vehicles that I'm mentioning are what you are seeing behind me. In these vehicles, upon a quick check on them, we found that most of them, the chases had been tampered with, which gave us an indication that these vehicles are either diverted transit goods into the local market, and we also concluded that these particular persons avoided paying relevant taxes to the Kenyan government. And also we believe that if they are not transit goods, these are goods that were smuggled into this country from the neighboring countries without following the laid down procedure. And upon that, we decided to recover all the vehicles, towed them at the police station here in Eldoret. The reason why we did this, we wanted to simplify the logistics so that we can draw the multi-agencies to come and help us. Number one, by tape lifting, to find out where did these other original numbers that do not appear in the NTSA data. 2, we wanted also to help other people who may have reported in other parts of this country their stolen property in the name of a tractor or a vehicle. We want to make an appeal to the Kenyan people that if you are one person maybe who bought a vehicle or a tractor from the person named, you should present that vehicle within the shortest time possible to Eldoret Police Station so that due diligence can be done into it by verifying the details of that vehicle and by checking with the NTSA whether it is there. And you can also do it on your own. Check with the NTSA the vehicle that you bought, whether it is reflected. And where you find that it's not reflected, you should make quick conclusions that that is a suspected stolen property that is in your possession, which you should surrender to the nearest police station so that the police can pick it up from there. At that juncture, I want first of all to take a few questions to you before we proceed. One thing I want to tell you, already we have officers all over across the country. We don't want to make an assumption of what it is. We shall give you at the appropriate time the right information that will satisfy the demands and the worries the Kenyans have. One thing I want to assure you, this person could not be able alone to work on his own. He has a cartel spread across the country and within the government departments. And that's why he was able to get even the numbers that he fixed on some of those vehicles. If you check our Mercedes that is on my right, this is a new vehicle. A new vehicle in the market. That's why we are following. And these were what made us to reach where we are. There's a big cartel. You remember very well there are people moving around the country, and we, as Uasin Gishu County, we are also affected. And we've run around, you remember, in the recent time we've been able to arrest 3 persons who are before court, charged for theft of motor vehicles. So it is a big cartel that we are ready to crush.
Yeah, well, that was the Uasin Gishu Police County Commander Johnston Ipara giving us a statement as far as the issue of the impoundment of those vehicles, rather these vehicles behind me, is concerned. Of course, pointing out a various number of issues ranging from smuggling and evasion of tax and perhaps a syndicate that could be involved in car theft. So just to let you know is that in the recent past, cases of car theft has also been on the rise in Eldoret town, and this is an issue that police have been working round the clock to make sure that they curb these cases. In the meantime, of course, we'll be waiting just to see the kind of charges the police are going to prefer against the suspect said to be behind bars at the moment, one Gideon Kipkosgei, and of course we are expecting that by tomorrow he will have been arraigned in court. It's a story that we continue to follow up closely, Sam, and we'll be keeping our viewers up to speed with every single bit of it in our subsequent bulletin. Sam.
Thank you so much, Timothy Simwa, for living up to your word and giving us more briefs on the story that you told us that you'll be following up on from Uasin Gishu County. The exercise is still ongoing, identifying those vehicles, and we've heard more from Johnston Ipara. So in case one of your vehicles is stored and it's there, you know the drill, because Timothy Simwa has already given us the details. Now, we ran a Twitter poll question by you earlier during this hour, and we told you to go to our online platforms, that is at K24 TV and at Sam W. Njoroge, to tell us what you think about this issue. And it's all about your support, or the lack of it, for the fresh push for a referendum by governors through the Ugatuzi initiative. Do you support the fresh push for a referendum by governors through the Ugatuzi initiative? You are to engage us, or you're still engaging us on hashtag K24 Daily Brief, at Sam W. Njoroge, at K24 TV. So we are yet to pick your responses. Do that now, Director, or a little later? Okay, let's take a break first, but when we return, we shall be taking your feedback in as far as this issue is concerned.